Hello everyone, this is your final video of technical English. That should be good news for all of you. We have successfully completed all the chapters, all the sessions in technical English, and in this final video I'm going to talk to you about dialogue in various situations. You can look at this as a continuation of interpersonal skills. So when we in our daily life we speak, we converse with friends, family, close relatives, people at the bus stop, right now COVID, no buses, right? But then we interact with different kind of people and we have no control over where we meet them, right? We meet people in different situations. So here, when we speak about dialogues, I want to specifically focus on small talk. Small talk means speaking with people that you haven't met before, right? You have met them for the first time and that meeting is going to be very brief and it's a very uncontrolled atmosphere. It's not like an interview, right? You meet people in different places, let's say at a park, you meet them at the bus stop, you meet them at the interview, maybe another candidate who's also waiting for their turn, right? You meet people at different situations. So at the workplace too, will you be meeting new people? Yes, you will be meeting new people at the cafeteria, right? At the lounge, when you're working with them, when you've just met a new colleague, right? So how do you start a conversation with them? How do you sustain that conversation? How do you close a conversation? What is the formal and a proper way to start and close a conversation? So there are some things to remember when using small talk. So yes, this kind of conversation that you have for the first time for a very brief period of time, it's called small talk, right? So what is small talk? So what are the things to remember when you talk with people for the first time? First is, it's common sense. You don't ask personal questions like their age, their status, their income, right? Related to family, sensitive questions related to family, right? Wait for them to speak up too, right? Don't keep answering, questioning them. Be friendly and ask questions which are pertinent, right? It is, you're meeting in a workplace situation, so it should somehow revolve around work, but it doesn't have to be all about work, right? It can be a friendly chat. And talk about yourself too. Talk or share things that you're only comfortable sharing. Don't delve into personal details about yourself for the very first time. Either, two things can happen. The other person may be completely put off by your, extreme openness, or they may think of you as very clingy, right? Getting friendly too soon. It's never a good idea at the workplace. And another thing is, don't talk about things that may lead to argument or controversial, like political issues, right? Your religious views, your dietary restrictions. Like if you're a vegetarian, don't start fighting with the person if they say they eat non-veg, right? Don't start topics which are too controversial. You may save those things for later, right? If you know that you're familiar with them and it's a very open group discussion, then you can share your views in a very non-threatening way, but it's not a conversation you bring up for the very first time. And when you're meeting people for the first time, never gossip about another person at the workplace. Whether it's workplace or anywhere else you've met them, don't share negative things about anybody, whether they're from your family, your friends. So why should we avoid doing this? It's really because you are showing yourself as a person that can't be trustworthy. If you can speak about your close friends or your family, then you're going to definitely talk about them with someone else, right? So avoid gossiping. And don't make personal comments about their looks, their clothing, their height, or if they have a funny looking scar on their face, don't comment on that. Don't ask them, why do you have that scar, right? So don't make any comments on their personal appearance, right? And there are two settings where you meet people. One is a formal context, another is an informal context. So it changes according to where you've met the person, right? So if it's a formal context, some expressions you use would be thank you instead of thanks. You would say hello instead of hi. You would keep the tone very moderate and not overexcited when you meet them for the next time, right? So instead of saying hello, you would just say hello, right? That's pleasing, that's neutral. And don't be too clingy. If they shake hands with you, shake hands, don't hug them, right? Don't shake hands too long, don't be too clingy with them, it's inappropriate. And don't get too personal if it's the second time you've spoken with them or even the first time, right? Be very neutral, be sensitive of the other person. And instead of using can you please, always use could you please. That's formal, right? There's no difference between can and could. They mean the same thing, but in a formal context you would use could instead of can. So that's it. That's, you know, some grammar for you there. And always be polite and courteous in your conversation. Don't show anger, don't show negative feelings, or don't throw moods in the very first conversation, right? And when it comes to informal, there's not much I need to tell you here, because when I say informal, it's already very non-standard. But in English, there are, you know, unspoken things that we all adhere to when it comes to informal conversation. So it's completely okay to say hi there or heyos, right? Whatever. You can pick up the local jargon, right? Whatever people say, but not too informal, even at the workplace. So if you're addressing a colleague, it would be nice to say hi there instead of hey macha or hey machi, right? That wouldn't be very nice, because they're colleagues. You've maintained the rapport you've built with them is informal, but still it is a formal setting. So you still need to maintain some standards, right? And the grammatical error, like not errors, but the structure of sentences may be short and crisp. They may not be complete sentence. Like you may not say I'm doing fine or I'm doing well, thank you, how are you, right? In an informal conversation, you would just say fine, thanks, what about you, or you, right? So they're very short, one-word answers, which is completely okay in informal setting. And or you may just say just fine, how's you, right? Even that is informal, right? Where are you off to? You may say, instead of saying I'm going to the bookstore, you can just say I'm off to the bookstore, right? So it's one word answer, but keep your expression very neutral. It shouldn't come off as bookstore, right? It sounds rude. So yeah, so words like good luck, see you later, or ciao, right? These are informal expressions which are completely okay to use even at the workplace if you build that kind of a rapport with them. Otherwise, always keep your sentences complete, right? If you're speaking to someone who is higher in designation, keep your sentences complete and avoid jargon. Keep it very formal. So that's about dialogues in various situations for you. Thank you very much.